Hanover Wildcats, Coach's Corner, a service of Hanover Electric, Blue Valley Technologies, Inline Construction, the Blue Valley Insurance Agency, Citizen State Banks, Handy's Hardware and Lumber, Midwest Products, and Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance.
The variety of our checking plans exceeds your grandfather's dreams. We have checking plans for kids, checking for college students, checking for small businesses, and checking for seniors only. We have checking plans that pay interest. By checking with us, you have quality choices to add to your portfolio and financial planning. Citizen State Bank of Marysville, Waterville, and Hanover. Quality banking since 1907. Member FDIC.
See Andy Bruna at Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover for a full line of your everyday hardware needs and all the building supplies you'll need to get the job done right. Just about anything you might need around the farm or home is found at Andy's, and always fast, friendly service when you need it. It just makes good sense to shop at Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover, Kansas, a Proud Wildcat booster. That's Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover.
Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance, providing high-quality coverage and service, all at a competitive premium cost. Since 1888, Bremen Farmers Mutual has offered homeowner, farm owner, business owner, fire, and inland marine coverage. Dependable and affordable. See your local agent representing Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance. Learn more about the various insurance products offered by going online at bfmic.com.
Quality work at reasonable rates. Inline Construction does basements and foundations, as well as retaining walls, plus drives, patios, and sidewalks. For concrete work, call for a quote from Inline Construction at 562-5525 or inlineconstruction@yahoo.com.
Welcome in to the Hanover Wildcats Coaches Corner program, joined today by boys head basketball coach Corey Jensen. Coach, welcome into the program this season. I'm going to ask you a little bit, just kind of what are your numbers look like for your team this year?
Yeah, it's crazy how this year has flown by. Amazing it's already December, but here we are. This year we have 20 guys out, good mix of young and old and everything in between. So, yeah, it's a good number for us.
Well, and we were chatting a little bit before, don't know whether it's a hindrance or a help, but of course most of your boys are coming off a state championship in football, so your practices have been very limited this week. So I guess just in the short amount of time you get them, what do you want to work on here before your first game is Thursday already?
Yeah, and that's a good problem to have. We go late into the season with the football, get a state championship. All of our guys were out for football, so today being Wednesday, we'll have two practices before our first game. I'm expecting it to be ugly and I'm expecting it to be rough, but that's a good problem to have. But, I got together with my assistant and we talked about, kind of points of focus we want to have in these two practices. And the main thing for us is obviously we're wanting to play hard, max effort, but we're just trying to keep things as simple as possible, both on the offensive end and defensive end. And, we'll just fine tune things as we go.
And keep it simple, I think is going to be in your favor because you have a good mix of kids, returning off of last year's squad. Does that kind of give you a little bit of, a confidence that says, we can kind of hit this ground running a little quicker than, let's say, maybe like a freshman, sophomore-led team?
Yeah, we have a lot of guys returning, and that helps tremendously. And we had a really good summer with our guys, both our JV squad and our varsity squad. So we have a lot of guys that know exactly what we're expecting on the offensive end and defensive end. And that's just going to help tremendously. Hopefully we can just carry that momentum from the summer and go into the year with that. And also another thing is we've got a lot of guys that can play on the varsity floor. So, football shape and basketball shape are quite different. And, having depth is really going to help us early on in the season, especially.
I remember that was something we were talking about last year. You didn't like to play like 9 guys at one time, but they kind of forced your hand because you have so many good players. And, I wanted to ask you, obviously you lose Garrett Martin down low in the post, but how do you kind of now morph this team around, I don't want to say more guard oriented, but, filling that hole that he left?
Yeah, he was a big presence down low for us, especially on the defensive end. He had long arms, he could jump, did a lot of good things for us, led us in rebounds, but high school coaches, they don't get to recruit their players, so you always kind of got to deal with, personnel that you have, and you need to put your teams in the best possible scenario you can to get them to succeed, on Tuesday and Friday nights, and we'll adjust to that. You'll see a little kind of a different look from us this year with kind of more of a 5-out look on the offensive end, and defensively we're going to pressure you full court, and we'll be able to switch almost every single spot just because we got guys that are athletic and can guard multiple positions. So we're a little bit more adaptable this year, and hopefully we'll be able to throw in some wrinkles and just kind of have a different look on the offensive end than we have in the years past.
And we mentioned it in the earlier comments, obviously coming off a state football championship, but also last year's basketball success. I know making it to state, maybe wasn't the end goal, but does that give these boys a little confidence that says, hey, if this is where we want to be at the end of the year, this is how we have to prepare throughout the season?
Yeah, that was a huge step for us. We go into, the new format with Acacia sub-states and regions and all that, and we saw where we were going to be at, and we knew we'd have to go through a 21-0 team, and we did that, and that's a good confidence boost for us. Just getting to the state tournament in Kansas is hard. It really is, and that was a big step for our guys. And like I said before, this summer we had a great summer. We had great participation. We probably played 5 tournaments and played really well in all those tournaments, and just really looking forward to getting into the gym with these guys, and I think we're going to have a fun year.
Well, it was fun watching you guys last year too as well, and expecting same things. And last one here for you, Corey, before I let you go. But before you guys hit Christmas break, where do you want to see this team improve at or take some steps at?
Well, I think we're going to know a lot after these first couple games. We got a good opponent in Troy, and we got a next week with Nemaha Central. So we're going to find out where our gaps are, whether it's offense, defense, find where our weaknesses are, and we're just going to build from those. Like we're going to hit practice every day, try and get better, but we're really going to find out in these first couple games where our weak spots are, and that's kind of what you want in a schedule, especially early on. I'd much rather find where our weaknesses are early on than find out where they are in February. So this is going to be a good test for us these next couple weeks, and looking forward to those challenges.
Yeah, like you said, I think every coach would much rather play a tough non-con schedule because we just know how tough the Twin Valley League will be again this year. Again, talking with Corey Jensen, head coach of the Hanover boys basketball team. Coach, I appreciate your time this week. We'll chat here in a couple more weeks.
All right, Max. Talk to you later.
In your bustling lives, we're constantly on the move from hectic commutes to family outings. Blue Valley Insurance offers comprehensive auto coverage to keep you safe on every journey. Whether you're heading to work or driving your kids to practice, we've got you covered. Visit us at convenient locations in Lynn, Greenleaf, Hanover, or Marysville for personalized auto insurance solutions tailored to your needs. Drive with peace of mind knowing you're protected by Blue Valley Insurance.
Not everyone can become a Lennox dealer, so you'll be glad to know when you buy a Lennox from Hanover Electric Incorporated, you not only get the best products in the business, you also get a traditional experience in making sure your home is as comfortable as it can be. Because every independent Lennox dealer must pass the Lennox Quality Dealer Standards Program, the toughest test in the industry, and what it means is you get a dealer you could always count on. Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
In today's world, everyone is searching for answers. If cows are laying down, will it rain? Does gum really stay in your stomach for 7 years? How about Bigfoot? With so many mysteries, it's nice to have one clear answer. Fiber. Blue Valley Technologies proudly provides a robust fiber network with symmetrical speeds and unmatched reliability. And with 24/7 support, we are always here when you need us. Blue Valley Technologies Fiber Internet, because some things just shouldn't be a mystery.
From the ground up, Midwest Products Hanover can assist with concrete drives, parking, walks, entries, foundations, and support walls. Quality people help produce quality products, and you can rely on their crews for a job done right. Concrete plants at Hanover, Washington, and Clay Center. Midwest Products also haul rock, sand, and gravel. They have a crane for rent and can assist with site preparation. Start your next job with a call for a quote today from Midwest Products at Hanover. Hanover Wildcats Coach's Corner, a service of Hanover Electric, Blue Valley Technologies, Inline Construction, the Blue Valley Insurance Agency, Citizen State Banks, Andy's Hardware and Lumber, Midwest Products, and Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance.